Hey there guys, welcome to an all-new Q&A, but before we dive into your questions and things get a little bit creepy, a little bit dark as usual, I first wanted to mention this new Batman web series. It's called The Dark Knight Retires. Yeah, retires. Since everything we do on this channel is Batman related, or at least 92% of it, it just makes sense. Check out this clip.
I've always been Gotham's silent protector, a watchful guardian, a dark knight, but not anymore.
What are you gonna do? Retire?
I never thought of that.
I have to give those guys some props because some of the costumes they put together in that web series look really good. By the way, they include all of your favorite villains like Mr. Freeze. Ice to see you. It's not that version. So if you guys want to check out that Batman web series, click the annotation right here or link down below in the description if you're on a mobile device. Start watching now, subscribe to them, give them a like, and tell them Johnny the Batman Flickster sent you. They're gonna be like, who's that? Hydration. I just got done shooting a video. It's gonna be on the Flick Pick channel. It's my favorite scariest movie scenes of all time. Turned out pretty good. Now I gotta edit it for like 6 hours, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Alright, so let's jump into your questions, and it's been a few weeks, I'm sorry. This is Q&A 45. Yeah, I knew that sounded right. Okay. First question up. Tell us your greatest Halloween story and what's your favorite candy? Favorite candy would be Sour Patch Kids. First they're sour, and then they're sweet. And then they kick your ass and leave you in a pool of your own blood. Halloween story. Okay. I used to live in Athens, Georgia when I was younger, just for like 4 years. And I lived on this hill, okay? At the top of the hill, I lived on the side of it, and at the very top there was a guy who was like a convicted child sex offender. And he had all these chickens and dogs chained up in his yard. Creepy shit. I think it was Halloween. I'm going to say it was Halloween. Yeah, it was. Because we were trick-or-treating. And me and my friends were walking over that hill past his house. And my one friend's like, I dare you to go up there trick-or-treating to his house. I was like, no way, dude. No way. So, I didn't do it. I chickened the hell out. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to end up in a cage down this guy's basement. So my one friend, Drew, he went up to the house. He knocked on the door. All the lights were off. Obviously, this guy didn't want people coming there, and legally, I don't think kids were allowed to come there. But he knocks on the door for like 3-4 minutes. He's knocking on this door. All the lights are out. All the lights are out. You know, it looks like nobody's home. All of a sudden, from a tree, I'm not kidding, from a tree in the front yard, he comes out of nowhere, out of the shadows, and he's like, what do you want? I don't have any candy. I'm like, we just took off running. Everyone just took off running and screaming, and it makes you wonder, years later, you know, I thought about it years later when I got a little bit older, and I thought about that, and I was like, what was that guy doing out in his front yard behind a tree? Like, he was out there that entire time. I think he was watching. I think he was watching kids. Just thinking about it gives me the willies, man. So that's the scariest Halloween story I have for you. Probably not what you were expecting, huh? If you're Nick Fury and you had the choice to pick any DC and Marvel heroes, who would you pick? I love Batman, but I'm sorry to say I would need Superman on my team. Just seems a little bit more effective. He can fly, and I'd pick the Hulk. And then, yeah, basically just have those two guys team up, and they're gonna do whatever it takes. You know, you got the Hulk right around on Superman's back. It might look a little bit weird from the distance, but they're gonna kick your ass once they get there. John, the movie Memento. What do you think of it? Pretty good. Not my favorite Nolan movie, but solid movie. Speaking of Nolan movies, I think The Prestige is one of the more underrated ones. Why do you hate the Hangover trilogy? Explain. And why did you give Cloud Atlas a C? I don't hate the Hangover trilogy. I just think the first one's okay, a little bit overrated, and the other sequels were just like, we want more money, scoop. Cloud Atlas, why did I give it a C? You know, from a technical standpoint, the movie was great. You know, it was well made. For the most part, some of the prosthetics, I thought, even though it was like a state-of-the-art film, looked a little bit off, like a little bit cartoonish in ways, a little bit over-embellished, if you will. Like, people didn't look human once they started adding too much prosthetics to their face. And as far as the story goes, I I just wasn't really involved in it. I didn't feel it was, I'm going to use the big boy term, cohesive. And it wasn't engaging to me as a viewer. I mean, some of the stories were good, but some of them just didn't feel like they were up to par with how amazing they should have been to keep up with the other pace of the film. Yeah, we'll go with that. But hey, if you like the movie, that's awesome. You know, opinions will vary. John, do you watch beyond the trailer? If so, what do you think about Grace Randolph? I watch her every once in a while. She keeps up with the news pretty good. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think she reads off a teleprompter. I'm just guessing. I don't know that for a fact, but it looks like she's reading off a teleprompter, which I don't think I could do that. We're gonna get on to another subject, but I don't think I could do that. Like, something about that would feel like I'm too stagnant and I can't get out of my box. I feel like some of the best things I've ever said just happened for no reason. That's just me. But yeah, beyond the trailer, pretty good. I watch it sometimes. Hey, Johnny John Johnson, how would you have reacted if the Breaking Bad finale sucked? I would have jumped out of a window. Actually, I actually would have met up with my Uncle Gary and started doing meth because I would have been so depressed. How do you think fans would have reacted? Oh, there would have been riots in the streets. Actually, it just would have been a whole bunch of fanboys bitching on the internet, nothing more. I would have been let down, but I think that finale was the most fulfilling thing I've ever seen on TV. Have you ever seen the BBC show Sherlock? I've answered that probably 47 times. I have not. You deserve millions of subscribers, no doubt. Thanks, man. Maybe one day I'll get there. Statistically speaking, probably in about 222 years. If you had a chance to be a zombie extra in The Walking Dead, what would you want to do in the storyline, and how would you want to be killed? Well, I definitely want to kill at least one person if I was a zombie in the show. How would I want to be killed? Preferably by Daryl. And, I don't know, maybe he just... I want my head to be chopped off, definitely. An arrow just through my eye socket won't be enough. I need my head to be chopped off. I forgot to start my timer. Now I'm mad. How long have we been talking here? I gotta check something. Okay. It doesn't matter. We'll just keep going. Who do you think would win in a fight? Mike from Breaking Bad or Daryl from The Walking Dead? Hand-to-hand combat, I think Daryl would take him, but Mike was a pretty good hitman, so if Daryl didn't know he was coming, sure, Mike. Your thoughts on Lights, Camera, Jackson? I want to torture him. I want to, like, that's sick and sadistic, but I just want to put him in a well down in my basement. Hey, John, what type of graphic... Because you know why? I was going to go to the next question, but I got to keep going with this. That kid, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't... You can just see that he doesn't really understand movies. He doesn't get film. He's just... I think he's watched too many stereotypical TV shows with the TV host, and he thinks that's what he's supposed to do. It's like, this isn't 1985 anymore, okay? You got to have a different opinion. You can't just sit there like a little know-it-all shit. We're getting too deep with that one. Hey, John, what type of graphic design did you study specifically? I have an applied science of graphic design. Basically, I studied a little bit of everything, like print, illustrative work, Photoshop, Illustrator, freehand. What else? I'm trying to think of the program, which I kind of never learned. I just forgot it. Doesn't matter. Like, I studied a little bit of animation. Flash. Yeah, that sounds right. Flash animation, there it is. But the only ones I ever cared about was print and advertising. That's what I studied. Hey, John, do you like the film Boogie Nights? What do you think of it? Well, Jack, I was thinking a lot about my name, and when I close my eyes, I can see these bright, shiny letters, and they're pink, and they get so bright they explode. And it says Dirk Diggler. Yeah, I love Boogie Nights. 1970s porn all the way. Hey John, I just answered that. Hey Johnny Coco Booker, can you make a top 10 worst comic book movies video? I assure you that is on a list. I have a list right there sitting on the ground with 50 movie video ideas. And it's so hard to keep up, you know. It's like you want to do these videos, but then like throughout the week you want to keep up on your movie reviews, so you do those, and then you want to keep up on like a vlog every once in a while, so you do those, and it's just like it keeps moving further back. Did you hear the good news about Mad Max? The fact that they've actually started production on it? Hey John, do you think Breaking Bad could have ended with Walt staying alive? Spoilers. Who cares? And can you give me a shout out? That comes from James the First. No, I think the way Breaking Bad wrapped up was perfect. It was the way it should have. Hey Johnny Cage, have you seen the trailer for Monsters Dark Continent? I don't think so. Hey John, I just watched Stephen King's It the Clown Man. What do you think went wrong with part 2? Part 1, but part 2. That's weird you just said that, man. We're talking about the movie It, the miniseries. That's weird you said that. Because I actually included that in my scariest movie scenes video. And I specifically talked about part 2 not being that good. Good eye. Good eye. Great minds think alike. Yeah, that claymation spider in part 2 just fucking ruined the whole thing, didn't it? I understand you're not so keen on anime. I know you respect it, but as your movie goer, try either The Girl Who Leaped Through Time or Summer Wars and Avatar The Last Airbender. It's not anime, it's a cartoon, plus the movie doesn't represent the show at all. Okay, I will. What part of Fort Wayne do you live in? I live towards the north side of Fort Wayne. Hey, Johnny Pinkman, can you do some Breaking Bad voice impressions? Bitch! Jesse, you must be very precise. That's all I got for you. Hey, Mr. Flick, have you seen the new Chucky movie? No, and I refuse to watch it. It just looks like bland, new, generic bullshit. Hope you see this, John. Gotta say, I've been looking at your YouTube channel I actually responded to this question via comment. So, John, where did you get your shelf? It's called, I got it on Amazon. Search, I'm sorry, I forgot what to search for. Pack. Something pack. Type in P-A-K, shelf, or something like that. You'll find it. If you could have sex with any porn star, who would it be? Who wouldn't it be? Nicole Aniston. We'll leave it there. Hey, Long John. How did you make it look like the camera is zooming in and out in your videos? It's just a panning shot. It's just an editing thing. You just pan in and pan out. It does it in the software. Hey, Johnny Boy Blue Balls. Do you pick your nose in public? Not in public. Actually, that's a bad habit. You want to try to avoid that. You got to think of all the germs on your hand going inside your nostrils. You don't want it. Hey, John. I answered that. Answered this. Hey, Johnny. Do you work out at home? If so, what do you do? No, I don't work out at home. For me, I'm weird. Like I think I'm gonna answer like 2 more questions after this because we're gonna go to part 2 and answer more. But I don't work out at home because for me mentally I have to go somewhere else to do that. Like I got to go put the work in at some other place. Plus I'm all about routine. So I go to work out at like the YMCA now. Really great place, and they got a pool. They have a sauna. It's just everything I need. And plus the older MILFs that go there wearing yoga pants. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, I go there and I don't work out at home. Plus, it's for all the equipment that I like to use, I like to change up my workout routine quite often, hit a lot of different things. And it just wouldn't make a lot of sense to work out at home because workout equipment's expensive, and I would prefer to be able to use the different machines at the gym. All right. Hey, Johnny Badass, huge fan of your videos, man. Have been for quite a while now. Quick question, thank you. Can you give your thoughts on Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 in District 9? Love District 9. It blew me away the first time I seen it, and it's amazing what they can do with a budget that's like $30 million, which is a lot of money, but nowadays in movies it's not that much, and they made the visuals look realistic, you know? Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, I've seen both movies a few times. I think I enjoyed Kill Bill Part 1 more, maybe. Not my favorite Tarantino movies. And if you had to give them letter grades, what would they be? I don't know. District 9, A-, Kill Bill movies. Upper B's, just because they're not my favorite Tarantino movies. Excuse me. Hey John, love your videos. What's your opinion on Pulp Fiction? Absolutely loved it. I've talked about it 100 times in Q&As. Hey John, can you do more top 10 videos? I assure you that is my goal. I have a top 10 action movies I want to shoot. Have a good idea for it, and I think it'll be pretty cool once I do it. Maybe I'll do that sometime early November. So anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up the first part of this Q&A. Join me for part 2. I'll put an annotation somewhere up here. Click it. I'll see you in part 2. Thanks for watching. What am I even, what happened? My brain just shut off. Ask more questions down below. We'll answer them next week in an all-new video. I'll see you next time.